Hey folks, friends of astrophotography and N.I.N.A users. You know when you're running a nighttime N.I.N.A session and you just can't help but keep staring at the guiding graph. Is my RMS value still okay? What is HFR value actually doing? What about the image statistics? Are they still in a good range? My name is Sasha and exactly for these reasons I wrote a N.I.N.A plugin. I simply don't want to put myself through the stress anymore. I have written the N.I.N.A plugin StarMessenger, which I would like to introduce you now.
And here we go. I've already opened N.I.N.A and PhD2 is running in the background. PhD2 runs in simulation mode and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'll hide the window again and connect all the equipment as I would in a real session, except that here everything runs in simulation mode. Okay, still the guiding. And now let's close all the confirmation windows. And let's directly go to the plugin configuration window. Yeah, as you can see here, there are options for the pushover configuration and for the email configuration. I've also implemented these buttons to test the sending of pushover and email messages. And let's check it. I already opened the browser and pushed the button as you can see here, pushover message was sent and also the email was sent. So the first test was successful. I will delete the messages again and the email too. And now let's say a few words about the parameters. In principle, these parameters are all attached to a N.I.N.A image and can be made available in the messages. I personally have no interest in all parameters. As I said in the beginning, the RMS value are super important to me, but I'm also interested in values such as HFR or image statistics during a session. And I think it's quite nice to receive the image itself. All right, now let's go to the sequencer and I'll open a very small script that does nothing but take images at 20 seconds intervals. Oh, let's delete those first. Yeah, taking images all in simulation mode, of course. And now let's directly go to the sections for the commands and triggers. And as you can see here, the StarMessenger section is new. And I just would drag and drop the commands for sending the pushover and the emails into the sequence and press the play button and now it iterates through the imaging, and after 20 seconds we hopefully will get a pushover message and an email, and it still takes a few seconds and yeah. Here we go. Here's my first pushover message. All parameters are displayed, configured in the configuration of that plugin, and the email is also there, and you can also see the image itself. As I said, it's simulation mode, so here is no real nice image to see. But this is how it looks like. And by the way, if you set the image type to something other than light, you would no longer receive any messages. For me, it makes no sense to receive messages if flat, dark, or other images are taken. All right, let's delete both simple commands now, and afterwards I'll show you the next triggers. You probably will know the behavior of the triggers. It's just sending or triggering a command after, let's say, X exposures or N exposures. So I will drag and drop those triggers in here. And what we could do is let's send an email after 2 exposures and let's send a pushover after 1 exposure. As I said, you probably know that behavior from other plugins. I press play and I first will delete all already received pushover messages and emails. And now the iteration is running. Expectation is that we will get a pushover message but no email because it's the first iteration, and we have to wait for 2 iterations for the first email. And as you can see now here, first pushover is there and no email. And next iteration is running, and still 5 seconds, and 2, 1, and yeah, now the email was there and the pushover also. But this is kind of standard behavior of a plugin, right? So now let's come to the actual feature and actually the heart of the entire plugin. For that, I will drag and drop 2 more triggers, and that's called StarMessage via pushover by condition or StarMessage via email by condition. What is meant by condition? You can define a parameter, and you also can define a logical operator and a value, and yeah, depending on the values of the taken images, yeah, the parameter of the image is checked by that operator. And for instance, if the timestamp from the next image is smaller than the defined timestamp in the condition, then you will get the message. So let's assume, or let's define a first condition for sending pushovers. Let's say, yeah, till a certain timestamp we will get the pushover messages. And then let's define a second condition with emails. And yeah, and if the timestamp of the next image is greater or higher than the defined timestamp, then the messages, the emails will be sent. Let's delete the pushovers and the emails, and yeah, just wait for the next seconds. And the expectation now is that we will get a pushover message, but no email, because getting emails is defined for the future. And as you can see here, we got the pushover message, but we got no email. And let's still wait for the next iteration. That probably will not hit the. Yeah, we still have one more pushover message, but no message. But now I think the timestamp should be reached. And yeah, as you can see here, I also tell you if the condition or what condition was fulfilled. And yeah, now the iteration is done, and no more pushover was sent, but we received this email. This example is probably not very practical, but to show you how these conditions work, I've configured this example. But now let's come to a more practical configuration, what should cover a real use case in the nightly session. I already told you it's very important for me to track the guiding graph, and the RMS values are very important to me. So there is a range, what is quite normal, and in my sessions, let's say between 0.5 and 0.8 or something. It's not spectacular, right? So if I would get values below 0.4 or higher than 0. Let's say 8 or 9, these are values I'm very interested in, and I would like to know it. And I have it's really exhausting to always check this guiding graph. And for me to just get messages, it's just sufficient. It's quite okay. There's another parameter, let's say the HFR. If this is yeah, over 1.8, I would like to know that. And this, what you see here, is it's a practical use case for me, and that's actually all I want to be informed when certain values of a recording session fall out of a range defined by me. What I then do with it is another question. Maybe I'll check the cable management or run the autofocus again, whatever. By the way, in this version, only OR operators are provided. Yeah, and here we still have one or better three errors. Yeah, the reasons just is we only can use conditions, parameter and conditions, which are also configured in here. We took them out, so I take them in again, and now the error is gone. Yeah, let me know what you think of the plugin and what you might be missing. What I could imagine myself are additional logical AND operators for the conditions, and yeah, communication channels that do not have to go over the internet. For example, if you are out in the field without internet, but you can still send messages from your Astro PC to your mobile. Yeah, that's actually it. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.